Hello there, welcome to News Tonight on Rajya Sabha television this Monday evening. I am Aishwarya Kapoor with you. India has recorded the biggest one-day jump in coronavirus cases and the total COVID cases have crossed 8.78 lakh. That is our top focus this evening. Also, all the updates on the political crisis in Rajasthan and much more coming up ahead. The novel coronavirus cases have crossed 8.7 lakh in India on Monday. India reported over 28,500 new cases on Sunday, adding 1,35,837 cases in the last 5 days with an average increase of 27,167. 28,701 coronavirus cases were reported on Monday, taking the total cases over 8.7 lakh. 500 deaths were reported in the last 24 hours to take the toll to 23,174. India has more than 3 lakh active cases, while recoveries exceed active cases by 2.52 lakh. The recovery rate has improved to 63.01% and the mortality rate is 2.6%. According to ICMR, over 1.18 crore samples have been tested for COVID-19. Of these, 2.19 lakh samples were tested on Sunday. Testing per million is more than 8,555. Several states reported their highest single-day spike on Sunday. In Gujarat, cases rose by 879 to reach 41,897. West Bengal's COVID-19 cases crossed the 30,000 mark with a record 1,560 new cases. 1,933 new cases pushed the coronavirus tally in Andhra Pradesh to 29,168 on Sunday. Karnataka had 2,627 new COVID-19 cases, while Bengaluru alone added 1,525 cases. The state has been reporting a high number of deaths in the last 3 days. As many as 198 of Karnataka's total 684 deaths, or about 30%, have been reported since 10th of July. Both Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh are reporting higher daily new cases than Delhi. In the last 24 hours, the national capital recorded 1,573 fresh coronavirus cases, taking the tally to 1,12,494 in the city. The death toll mounted to 3,371 with 37 new fatalities. However, the positive development is that cases remained below the 2,000 mark for the second day in a row. Daily recoveries are more than daily new cases. The worst state, Maharashtra, reported 7,827 new cases to take the total tally to 2,54,427 on Sunday. With 1,263 new COVID-19 cases being recorded on Sunday, Mumbai's case count mounted to 92,720. Tamil Nadu has the second highest number of cases in the country, with 4,244 fresh infections being reported. Its tally rose to 1,38,470. Both these states reported 40% increase of daily new cases. Uttar Pradesh reported 1,654 coronavirus cases in the past 24 hours, pushing the total to over 38,000. As the cases rise, several states are reimposing lockdown for varying periods in most cities, including in Bengaluru and Pune. The Uttar Pradesh government will implement strict restrictions on weekends, joining Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya and Bihar have already announced area-wise lockdown for different durations. Karnataka government has now announced a complete lockdown in Bengaluru for 7 days from 14th of July. Tamil Nadu extended curbs in Madurai and nearby regions till 14th of July. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. And the World Health Organization on Monday reported a record single-day rise of 2,30,370 new coronavirus cases globally. On Sunday, global infections crossed 13 million, including 5,72,231 deaths. The United States registered nearly 60,000 new cases in the past 24 hours, bringing its total tally to over 3.3 million. Florida reported 15,299 new coronavirus cases on Sunday. Texas, California and Arizona also saw a surge in infections. Latin America had over 3.3 million COVID-19 cases. 1.84 million of them were in Brazil. Mexico on Sunday recorded 4,482 new infections, taking its total cases to 299,750. Deaths from the coronavirus pandemic rose above 35,000, overtaking Italy. On Monday, Britain eased lockdown restrictions, allowing beauty salons to reopen. Prime Minister Boris Johnson urged people to wear face masks in confined spaces.
I do think that in shops, it is very important to wear a face covering if you're going to be in a confined space and you want us to protect other people and to receive protection in turn.
Spain's Catalonia reimposed lockdown in Lleida city and other areas from Monday. Catalonia reported 816 new infections on the day. Japan recorded 407 new coronavirus cases on Sunday with nearly 1,000 deaths. South Korea had 62 new COVID-19 cases on Monday. New infections were linked to religious gatherings and door-to-door sales businesses. On Monday, Hong Kong had 52 new coronavirus cases, including 41 locally transmitted infections. Schools started their summer holidays early due to a spike in the cases. In a major breakthrough, Russia became the first to complete clinical trials of a potential COVID-19 vaccine on humans. Sechenov University had started the human trials on 18th of June. Australia began human trials of a vaccine on Monday. Developed at the University of Queensland, preliminary results are expected by September end.
We're very confident that the safety issue is not a concern here. Like every vaccine trial, this may or may not succeed. It's not a guaranteed, but we're confident that we'll get through there to a positive outcome in the end.
Meanwhile, China's Sinovac Biotech's vaccine has shown promising initial results. Oxford University is also conducting phase 3 trials in over 10,000 volunteers. The vaccine is also being tested in Brazil and South Africa. Currently, over 100 vaccines are in various stages of development globally. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has urged people to introspect on their lives during the last few months of the coronavirus-induced confinement.
In a Facebook post titled Musings of Life in Corona Times, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu asked people to assess if they have learnt the right lessons and equipped themselves to deal with such uncertainties in the future. The Vice President stressed that the pandemic needs to be looked at not only as a disaster but also as a corrector. In the post, he posed 10 questions, saying that the 10-point matrix for self-assessment would help in knowing if people have equipped themselves with necessary understanding so as to help prevent recurrence of such adversities in the future. Some of the questions are: did you realize the root causes of the COVID-19 pandemic? Are you ready to make amendments to the way life was lived before Corona? Have you redefined the purpose and meaning of life? Did you identify the gaps in playing out your roles? Have you equipped yourself from the Corona experience to face another adversity? Is this pandemic a disaster or a corrector? Talking about frequent disasters, Vice President Naidu said the planet does not need us while we need the planet, claiming sole propriety over the planet as if it is meant only for humans has upset the natural balance, triggering adversities of different kind. On the pandemic hitting some sections of society harder, he said, the pandemic has exposed the heightened vulnerabilities of some sections which is not of their making. They are more systemic and need to be adequately addressed. Your way of living could be one of the reasons for enhanced vulnerabilities of others. He also asked people to identify what they missed out most during confinement and whether they understood the dharma of life by their experiences during the COVID-19 pandemic.
On to some other news. News on political crisis in Rajasthan, and the Rajasthan Congress Legislature Party on Monday passed a resolution supporting the Ashok Gehlot-led government in the state. The meeting was caused by the Congress amid the crisis caused by Deputy Chief Minister Sachin Pilot's open rebellion. Congress claimed that more than 100 arrived at the Chief Minister's residence for the meeting and later shifted to Hotel Fairmont in Jaipur. Pilot on Sunday claimed that he had the support of 30 Congress MLAs and some independents, adding that Ashok Gehlot government was in a minority in the state. Meanwhile, Congress leader Ajay Makan said that the Gehlot government was stable and in a majority in the state. Earlier in the day, Congress leader Randeep Singh Surjewala said the party's doors are open for Sachin Pilot. Congress has 107 MLAs in the 200-member assembly. That includes 6 BSP legislators. The Congress also claims the support of at least 10 independent MLAs. To escape the anti-defection law, 2/3 of Congress MLAs will have to leave the party, which means 72 out of Congress's 107 MLAs. And in a major development, Google on Monday announced an investment of 75,000 crore rupees to help accelerate India's digital economy. The announcement came after Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a discussion with Google and Alphabet Chief Executive Sundar Pichai on a wide range of subjects that included the challenges of the coronavirus pandemic and new work culture with the top business leader. Here are the details.
Addressing the 6th annual edition of Google for India virtual event, Google Chief Executive Sundar Pichai announced the digitization fund of $10 billion or 75,000 crore rupees in India over the next 5 to 7 years. Pichai called it a reflection of Google's confidence in the future of India and its digital economy. He added that he was optimistic about Prime Minister Modi's vision for digital India and Google will work towards it. The investment will focus on 4 areas: access to different languages, building new products and services for India, empowering businesses and leveraging technology, and AI in health, education and agriculture.
The Google for India Digitization Fund. Through this effort, we will invest 75,000 crore rupees, or approximately $10 billion, into India over the next 5 to 7 years. Investments will focus on 4 areas important to India's digitization. First, enabling affordable access and information to every Indian in their own language, whether it's Hindi, Tamil, Punjabi, or any other. Second, building new products and services that are deeply relevant to India's unique needs. Third, empowering businesses as they continue or embark on their digital transformation. Fourth, leveraging technology and AI for social good in areas like health, education, and agriculture.
Earlier, Prime Minister Modi tweeted that he had an extremely fruitful interaction with Pichai. Their discussions covered the challenges posed by the global pandemic and the importance of data security and cyber safety. Addressing the event, Information and Technology Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad spoke about the spread of digitization of rural areas and India's app economy.
In the last 5.5 years of our journey, the way Indian digital products from digital payment to Jam Trinity Jandar Aadhaar Mobile to direct benefit transfer, sending billions of dollars and saving billions of dollars from being appropriated by fictitious claimants. All this is changing the digital narrative of India of digital inclusion. From Aadhaar to UPI to GSTN to Ayushman Bharat, all are operating on digital platforms developed by homegrown innovative technology by Indians.
HRD Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank spoke about Google's contribution to the Digital India revolution. He also explained how Google's investment will boost the ePathshala platform. Google is investing $1 million to boost digital education in India.
And the Supreme Court on Monday ended the legal battle on the control over one of the richest temples in the world. It upheld the right of the erstwhile Travancore royal family in the administration and control of the Sri Padmanabha Swami temple in Kerala. Here are the details.
The long-running dispute over the control of the Sri Padmanabha Swami temple in Thiruvananthapuram ended on Monday, with the Supreme Court awarding Shabbat rights to the erstwhile Travancore royal family. Under customary law, Shivaite rights or the right to manage the financial affairs of the deity survive with the royal family even after the death of the last ruler. While delivering the verdict, the Supreme Court set aside the Kerala High Court's 2011 verdict that directed the state government to set up a trust to manage the assets of the temple. As an interim measure, the district judge of Thiruvananthapuram will head the administrative committee to manage the temple's affairs. Calling the verdict the will of God, members of the erstwhile Travancore royal family thanked the Supreme Court for upholding their rights.
We regard today's Supreme Court verdict as a blessing from Patnam, not just for the family, but for all his devotees. We pray for his continued benevolence on all humanity to keep us all safe and well. Thank you to all those who stood by us during these difficult years. God bless you all and keep you safe.
While the Kerala government said it will follow the court's order in letter and spirit.
മാനിക്കുക എന്ന അവ നടപ്പിലാക്കുക എന്ന ഉത്തരവാദിത്വമാണ് ഈ ഗവൺമെൻറ് എല്ലാ ഘട്ടത്തിലും നിർവഹിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളത്.
The sprawling temple of Lord Vishnu was rebuilt in its present form in the 18th century by the Travancore royal house that ruled South Kerala and parts of Tamil Nadu before 1947. Even after India's independence, the temple continued to be governed by a trust controlled by the erstwhile royal family. Controversy began in 1991 when the last ruler's brother Martandavarma took over the temple management after his brother's death. Following a long legal battle, the Kerala High Court in 2011 ordered that a board will manage the temple. The royal family appealed against this. The Supreme Court stayed the High Court order and directed a detailed inventory of the temple's walls that contained valuables running into crores, prompting the debate further on who owns the temple's property. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
India and the United States will have trade talks between Union Minister Piyush Goyal and US Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross on Tuesday. The talks come at a time when India is seeking to reset its trade relations with China following border dispute between the two countries. Both Goyal and Ross will also address the India-US CEO Forum meeting.
Trade delegations led by Union Minister Piyush Goyal and US Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross will hold talks through video conference. Both sides are seeking market access in each other's country. India is also keen to have a free trade agreement with US, a pact which China has been trying for years now.
Talk of infrastructure. We are not looking at only what we can do within the country. We are looking at greater global engagement. Now, after all, Atmanirbhar Bharat is not about closing India's doors. It's about opening India's doors. It's about greater global engagement, a larger role for our Indian entrepreneurs, businesses, and our youngsters and our stakeholders to become part of resilient global supply chains.
The US is looking for greater market access for its farm and manufacturing products, dairy items, and medical devices and data localization. It's also seeking a cut on import duties on information and communication technology products. India, on the other hand, is keen on replacing China with US for its auto and electronic parts.
It is framing technical regulations and taking measures of quality control. Number two, India is also exploring having a limited trade pact with United States to protect its agriculture sector, its dairy sector, and IPR, intellectual property rights. India is also asking United States to give concession or duty-free access of its goods, concessions on aluminium products, steel products, agricultural products, and automobile sectors to increase its export to United States. United States is also trying to have access to Indian market and and asking India to minimize its duties on ICT sector, on medical devices, and agro and dairy products as well.
Despite their political and strategic convergence, both countries also have significant differences that they'll seek to bridge on Tuesday. Issues include America's removal of India's status from its Generalized System of Preference, or the GSP, that is a major source of tax relief for its exports.
Indian diaspora community in United States can play very significant role in recent years. There, India should negotiate with United States to liberalize its visa regime, and also explore the possibilities of US companies who are exploring the supplier from different parts of the world that can be connected with India.
Besides these issues, the US is seeking entry into India's food market and automobile and bike sectors. In the past, US had raised questions about trade deficit with India. India is trying to address the issue through purchase of oil and gas as well as defense equipment from American companies.
The best thing in India-US trade relations that both understand and recognize each other's concern, and trade between the two countries are anyway growing. The major effort will be how to make trade relations between the two countries complementary and supplementary to each other so that their dependence on China can be minimized. Akhilesh Suman for Rajya Sabha Television in Delhi.
Senior commanders of the Indian and the Chinese armies will meet at Chushul in eastern Ladakh on Tuesday. It will be their first meeting after the disengagement of troops by both sides from all friction points in eastern Ladakh, and the fourth since tensions began on the LAC in early May. According to reports, the meeting will focus on the next phase of disengagement between the two armies. The two commanders are expected to discuss the phased withdrawal of weapons and equipment to a mutually agreed distance from all friction areas along the line of actual control. And finally, the restoration of status quo ante, that is the situation that existed in early April. News from Jammu and Kashmir. 2 terrorists were killed in an encounter with the security forces in Anantnag district of Jammu and Kashmir on Monday. A search operation turned into the encounter when hidden terrorists opened fire on security forces. Incriminating material, including arms and ammunition, were recovered from the site of the encounter. Meanwhile, the Bandipora police, along with the security forces, busted a terror module in Chandargir and Sadhunara areas and arrested 4 terrorists. 2 live grenades, 25 rounds of AK-47, along with a grenade launcher, were recovered from the site. A special National Investigation Agency court in Kochi on Monday sent Swapna Suresh and Sandeep Nair, key accused in the Kerala gold smuggling racket, to the agency's custody for 8 days.
The NIA told the special court that the accused forged the seal and emblem of UAE embassy to smuggle the gold. Both were arrested on Saturday and remanded to NIA custody on Sunday. The 2 suspects were on the run since 5th July when the customs busted a gold smuggling racket after seizing 30 kgs of gold from a chartered UAE flight. The consignment was meant for the UAE consulate in Thiruvananthapuram. Another accused, Sarit, has already been arrested by the customs department. The NIA says the case has international links. Initial inquiries reportedly reveal that the proceeds of the smuggled gold could be used to finance terrorism in India.
And now the weather update. And heavy rainfall is expected in several parts of West Bengal, Sikkim, Bihar and eastern Uttar Pradesh in the next 4 days.
Maharashtra is likely to experience heavy rainfall in Mumbai, Thane and Raigad districts till the 16th of July. However, the IMD has forecast scanty rainfall for Delhi NCR over the next 7 days. In Assam, the flood situation worsened following heavy rainfall in the past 2 days. The death toll due to the floods has risen to 42. Currently, over 6 lakh people are affected in 20 districts across the state. Over 8,500 people have taken shelter in 92 relief camps. Floodwaters breached river embankments and damaged bridges and roads in some districts. Almost all major rivers like Brahmaputra, Dizang, Dhansiri and Gaurang are flowing above the danger mark at several places.
And the Indian Railways for the first time transported a loaded special parcel train beyond the country's borders.
The first parcel train carrying dry chilies from Andhra Pradesh has arrived in Bangladesh. The train, carrying 384 tons of dry chilies in 16 high-capacity parcel vans, was flagged off from Reddypalam in Guntur, Andhra Pradesh on July 10th. Guntur is the centre for export of chili and other spices from India. It is among the largest chili-producing districts in the country. Earlier, farmers and merchants were transporting dry chilies by road to Bangladesh, but due to the lockdown, they could not move this essential commodity by road. Also, the transportation cost by railways worked out to be cheaper compared to road transport. Earlier, the High Commission of India had requested the Ministry of Railways in Bangladesh to facilitate parcel train service between the two countries during the video conference meeting arranged by the High Commission on May 4th. The railway advisor at the High Commission of India in Bangladesh, Anita Barik, said this new service, other than the freight services, will boost bilateral trade by rail between India and Bangladesh.
And that's the wrap on this edition of News Tonight. Thanks so much for watching. Take care of yourself and your families. Good night.